Hello, BookTube. I have something that's a bit unusual for me, and that's primarily a vintage paperback book haul. So, I had to go to the VA today. Let me find a place to put this thing down. And when I got done, I decided to go looking for some books, something to take up a little bit of time. So I got to the charity shop. Parking lot was packed. So I actually had to tour around the parking lot a little bit because my truck does not fit into every parking spot. So, but eventually I found a spot. And I got a bunch of books, a selection that I'll show at the end that I'm really excited about. And one is hardback, and I'll start with that. So, yeah, why don't I just get right to it? And that way you can see what I'm talking about. So to start with, the hardback is Finches of Mars by Brian Aldiss. A little sticker here, I'll probably just leave that on there. The science fiction writer, and this is part of the Friday Project, is what it seems to be called. An imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. And this is from 2013. And my understanding is his last science fiction novel. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but that's my understanding. And Brian Aldiss, obviously a British writer, is someone I've been sort of hit or miss with over the years. I haven't read anywhere near his output. Some stuff I really like, and some is, okay, but that's fair with a writer. So they've got this little description that probably looks better on your screen than it does to me because of the light. Mars is in crisis. 10 years have passed since the formation of the Earth colony on the Red Planet. But it is yet to produce a healthy child. Every baby has been deformed and stillborn. With Earth overpopulated and at war, the Mars experiment is crucial to the survival of the human race. Something must be done to ensure its success. So, science fiction novel by Brian Aldiss. Wasn't going to pass that up. And keeping with the science fiction theme for a little bit on this stuff, this is Robert L. Ford. It's a Baen book, paperback. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. An old Arthur C. Clarke thing saying. Anti-gravity machines, 6 kinds. Space warps, black holes, strange matter, time machines, reactionless drives, faster than light drives, all the known ways to build real starships. Finally, someone who puts the science back in science fiction. Robert L. Ford, Ph.D. and a physicist to the stars, give us a tour of the real far-out physics theories being discussed by scientists today, and then shows us what it is all for in his science fiction story, showing people utilizing those theories and the impact they will have on the future that is indistinguishable from magic. Great cover there. I wonder who they're going to give credit to. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Cover art by David Mattingly. Now, so I took a look through this, and I'll show you the table of contents. So he'll do like antimatter, a little introduction to the subject, and then the story is Turn Left at the Moon. When did this thing come out? I'm actually looking forward to reading this. I like this sort of thing. 1995. So that's the first paperback. Then we got a Robert Silverberg, The Face of the Waters. This is Bantam Books. Bantam Spectra, I think. Yeah, Bantam Spectra. And this was from 1992. Originally 91. On the watery world of Hydros, scattered outposts of humans live on artificial islands in an uneasy peace with the native race of amphibians. But the humans on one island anger their hosts and are sent into exile, castaways set adrift on a planet's vast and violent sea. Around the humans' fragile boat swarms a multitude of exotic sea life, all merciless and deadly. But behind the many dangerous life forms lies a planet-wide secret, and a mysterious land mass shrouded in myth and mystery. So I'm a big fan of Silverberg's. Talk about somebody I haven't read all of. He doesn't even know everything he wrote. And he's apparently immortal. Then one I read when it first came out. I don't have a copy. I wanted a copy. I don't think I have a copy. Well, maybe I do. Oh, well. Anyway, just looking over here at science fiction. I don't think I have a copy, but if I'm wrong, I'll give it away. This is what the copy looked like when I first read it, and that's Neuromancer by William Gibson. Yes, when it came out, it just had such a huge impact. It was a debut novel. They give a description here that I can read to you. Case was the best interface cowboy who ever ran in the Earth's computer matrix. Then he double-crossed the wrong people. That's basically it. Good book. And then another one by William Gibson that I have not read. And that's Virtual Light. And this also is a Spectre book. And that was... No, the Neuromancer was an ace science fiction book. No. 2005, Welcome to NoCal and SoCal, the uneasy sister state of what used to be California. Here the millennium has come and gone, leaving in its wake only stunned survivors. In Los Angeles, Beryl Rydell is a former armed response rent-a-cop, now working for a bounty hunter. Chevette Washington is a bicycle messenger turned pickpocket who impulsively snatches a pair of innocent-looking sunglasses. But these are no ordinary shades. What you can see through these high-tech specs can make you rich or get you killed. Now Barry and Chevette are on the run, zeroing in on a digitized heart of data America, where pure information is the greatest high and the mind can be a terrible thing to crash. 2005, huh? What was this posed? That stuff doesn't bother me. I don't expect things to... 1994 was the Bantam paperback edition. So yeah. Now we'll get to one vintage. Just because I was in the mood to maybe reread. I can't speak ever. Reread one of these. And that's Perry Mason. And this is Perry Mason Solves the Case of the Sulky Girl by Earl Stanley Gardner. Saw it sitting there. Every single thing here costs $1. So you can tell me if I did okay or not. And this is a 30th printing. 1962. It originally came out in 1933. So, yeah, it even has one of these Perry Mason treasure chest things where you get all these Perry Mason books if you join the book club. But they are publisher's editions. You get 7 books where it's $27.65, all for $1 as you sign up to be a member. And then you get these 3-in-1 volume things, which you still see those at book sales. I don't know if you can see it there. I'll do my best. I don't want to pop this thing in half. Alright, and then before we get to the real finds of the day, these were ones I got just because I have fun with them. I started reading these when I was in the service, and we used to pass these around, Louis L'Amour paperbacks around, and we would pass Nick Carter around, and a few other people. But this was one of the series we pass around, and that's Don Pendleton's The Executioner with Mac Bolan. And I read them from the beginning on to, I don't even know what number I finally got to. And they were nice, entertaining, quick reads. So this is the Executioner featuring Mac Bolan, number 134, White Line War. And this is in a push to seize control of East Coast cocaine distribution from mob hands. A Colombian drug lord has turned the Miami-New York interstate into a killing zone. Innocent citizens are the victims of his ruthless campaign to eliminate the ruling Don. The random butchering escalated unchecked until the feds call in a troubleshooter. Posing as a hitman for hire, Mac Bolan infiltrates the mob's inner circle in an effort to bring the war to a fiery climax. You don't want that guy to mess with you. You don't want to mess with that guy. Number 140. Well, let's see, what was that? That was 134. Let's go to 138. Kill Trap. America's top secret prototype helicopter, a flying arsenal of high-tech death, is maneuvering for a test kill when the aircraft suddenly erupts into a fireball. Sabotage is suspected, but the evil mole is well hidden. So Mac Bolan goes undercover as a Pentagon colonel. Let's see, 143, Helldust Cruise. Mac Bolan begins a soft probe into the suspected cartel-related death of an undercover federal agent. Rusty links in the drug chain lead him to a fellow Avenger in the narcotics war and into a sideline mission as a troubleshooter on an intel gathering cruise to hotspots in cocaine paradise. After 3 days, the mission starts to smell, and when the cruise ship is hijacked by terrorists, the executioner discovers that he's become prime bait in shark-infested waters. And then the last one of these Mac Bolan, the executioners, is Chicago Payoff. There's vermin in the streets of Chicago, and Mac Bolan is sent to as an exterminator. He's got the right equipment, a .44 Magnum Desert Eagle, and a lifelong vendetta against men like Hector Garula. He's another drug lord. So these things were always fun, but now we get to what I get so excited about. I've never seen these. I've read all of these books multiple times, but I've never seen these copies because they're British copies. I'm just going to go in no particular order. So the first one is Alistair MacLean, Fear is the Key. Beautiful thing. This one came out. So it was first published in 1961, and this is the first Fontana Books one of 1963. A cruelly exciting novel of ruthless revenge set in the steel jungle of a great oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico and on the seabed below. Thrilled to find these. Just thrilled. This one's an Ian Stewart book, now known to be Alistair MacLean, The Satan Bug. The general handed me the phone. It's for you. Won't give his name. I took the receiver. Cavell speaking. The words came over the wire in a deep, dark, throaty whisper. Lay off, Cavell, if you want to see the little lady alive again. My heart did a long, low somersault and landed on its back with a thud. I said, what the hell are you talking about? I mean the beautiful Mrs. Cavell. I have her. She would like to speak to you. A moment silent, then, Pierre? Oh, my dear, I'm so sorry. Her voice broke off abruptly in a gasp followed by a scream of agony. Silence. Again the dark whisper. Lay off, Cavell, and the click of a replaced receiver. Who wouldn't want to read that? Then a very famous one that became a movie. The only one with a real ding on the bottom, but I grabbed it anyway. Alistair MacLean, The Guns of Navarone. So you got a little whack. When did this come out? Oh, see, it has a little map. That's cool. Didn't see that when I first opened it up. And this was published in 1957 and first issued by Fontana in 59. See if there's anything else I didn't see. Carl Foreman, noted film producer and writer, tells why he plans to bring the Guns of Navarone to the screen as one of Britain's top productions for 1960. It seems to me more than literary coincidence that Alistair MacLean's story is set on the same stage as the Odyssey and Iliad, Jason and the Argonauts, Theseus and the Minotaur. For so, like so many of these epic tales of adventure born in the blue waters of the Aegean, this thrilling book tells of the men who dare even the gods as they struggle towards their goal. So, there you go. Then South by Java Head, Alistair MacLean, another Fontana book. So they're all Fontanas, the ones I got. And this one is, oh, if I can find the page. First published in first published in 58, and this first issued in Fontana in 1961. Love that cover. The shattered city of Singapore is surrendering to the advancing Japs. Picking their way through the smoky rubble towards the quay are a struggling party of refugees, soldiers, nurses, and civilians. Dawn sees them far out to sea, but with first murderous dive bombers already aimed at their ship. Thus begins an ordeal few are to survive. A nightmare succession of disasters wrought by the hell-bent Japanese. The unrelenting tropical sun and by the survivors themselves, whose hatred and bitterness divides them one against the other. One question remains in each of their minds: who will be the last one to die? So you're going to get some of the old terminology. I mean, we don't use that anymore. But it was wartime. Post-war time at this time. But Alistair MacLean served in the war, so. Although I don't think he was in the Pacific. I think he would have been in the European theater. And then another one, Ian Stewart, now known to be Alistair MacLean, The Dark Crusader. 8 top scientists had already disappeared without a trace. When you get to know this tough, diffident guy who's on enough to admit his mistakes, you'll stay with him to the end. The beautiful girl who's posing as his wife goes with him on a nightmare voyage. They're dumped on a remote Polynesian island where, isolated and in mortal danger, they pit their wits against a brilliant brain backed by sadistic Chinese henchmen. And slowly, the terrible meaning of the Dark Crusader comes to light. So, when was this one? Excuse me. This one will be a little older, I think. Well, published in 61, first issued by Fontana Books in 63. So, yeah, a nice little collection. Really glad to have these. And then a nice little collection of the Executioner. A single vintage mystery there. Perry Mason and the Sulky Girl. A couple of William Gibson. Robert Silverberg. Robert L. Ford, a collection of thematic science fiction stories. And then, the only hardback of the lot, Brian Aldiss, Finches of Mars, which I know nothing about. So it was a good day. I hope you're doing well, and thank you, BookTube.